Yo, what's going on, people? You know who it is. It's Tatum is broadcasting live and direct from the man cave as usual. For those subscribers out there that is not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that bell. If you're not subscribed to my Twitter page, hit that bell at TAE_WIGGS. And of course, the link to my website is below. The game that was on last night, the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics. The 76ers lost this game 1-1 and 117. They had 6 days of rest. And this rest came back and haunt them. A little rusty. But at the same time, Celtics fans, you're going to like me. The Sixers fans are going to hate me. But I'm going to be honest and realistic. I got the Celtics winning this series in 5. The reason why they're going to win this series in 5, the importance of having playoff experience. This team, the Boston Celtics, have the playoff experience. I give them the edge on that. I give them the edge on the coaching staff and Brad Stevens, because Brad Stevens is going to give you different looks on different games going up against different lineups. Yes, I like what they did on defense. The 76ers was 5 for 26 from the three-point line. Everybody heard this motto. You live by the 3, you're going to die by the 3. How many threes you going to take before you hit one? If it's not working, you got to find different ways to score the basket. You have to go inside. You can't rely on the outside shot if it's not falling. So, you're looking at Robert Covington, who played 26 minutes. He was 0 for 4 from the three-point line, 0 for 6 from the field together. But he had 3 points because he was the free throw line. When you live by the 3, you're going to die by the 3. Robert Covington, we know he can hit threes, but his strongest part, too, is driving it, going to the hole. And he wasn't doing that. He was relying too much on that three-pointer. You know how it is. I hate when coaches say, keep shooting, you will make one. If you can't hit the first 4 of your shots, you got to try other ways to score. Attack the hole, which he did because he went to the free throw line, but he was still trying to settle the three-pointer. Dario Saric, the same way. He had 12.7 rebounds. He was also 0 for 4. So you're looking at a team like the Philadelphia 76ers, one of the top 10 three-point shooting teams in the league, and them taking all these three-pointers, once again, 5 for 26, they wasn't trying nothing new. Because you knew Joel Embiid was going to get off his 31 points and 13 rebounds. There's only so much he can do that he can save you. Everybody in Philadelphia going crazy. Guess what? Philly fans? The honeymoon is over. I know it's only one game, but I got this up just winning in 5. If they have another game like this, the 76ers, this series is going to be over. Not only did Joel Embiid have 31 points and 13 rebounds, yes, he's finding different ways to score, to get inside and outside. But to me, him and Ben Simmons, to me, were the key pieces to get this thing going. And one thing I like about what the Boston Celtics did on defense to the Philadelphia 76ers, they were chasing the 76ers players off the three-point line, making them throw up some crazy shots, give or take. But when you see somebody like Joel Embiid shooting threes, yes, he hit a couple. When you see him shooting threes, there's nobody back to rebound for the Philadelphia 76ers because everybody's standing around and see what JoJo going to do. Celtics going to run away with the ball. Philly fans, I know y'all trusting the process. The process has been trusted. This was the bus stop here. J.J. Redick is 20 points. It's like that. I mentioned his name. He had 20 points. He was 2 for 7 on the three-point line. And they was chasing him up the three-point line. The reason I said J.J. Redick, he's going to be the main focus on the Celtics defense. They're going to make sure he don't take that many threes or they can test his shot. He is the weak link on the 76ers defense because not only that Terry Rozier was dominating him, Jason Tatum was doing the same thing. It was pick your poison. Marcus Smart was beating him up. They was throwing different bodies at J.J. Redick. And the one thing I like about this, too, as well, in the Celtics defense, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons did not take a jump shot. But one jump shot he got fouled, he missed. Ben Simmons, if he can find a jumper somewhere in his repertoire, this dude could be scary good as well. There's a couple of guys like that in the league that got the total package but cannot shoot the jumper. Him as being one, and Giannis Antetokounmpo was another. if these two guys can find a way, they can find a consistent jumper. These guys is lights out, man. They can do everything else. They can score inside. They can pass the ball and they can handle the ball. So if these guys can form some type of jumper, they are triple threat. They are deadly. But when you Ben Simmons, yes, he had 6 assists, 7 rebounds with 18 points. But the whole thing was, yes, he was going to the hole at will that he wanted to. He's a 6'10 or 6'9 point guard. What's supposed to happen? But when you can't shoot that jumper and that defense starting to tighten up around that rim, you got to find other ways to score it. They's making sure the ball is out of his hands most of the time. And you got to give kudos to Brad Stevens on this defensive plan that he had for the Boston Celtics. The one thing I like about the Boston Celtics, they young team and they scrappy. They going to get after the ball. The one thing I like about them, I call them the Spurs of the East. It's next man up. They put another player out there, and anybody can do something. And every player on their team, on their roster, is a special type of player. One person is going to score, one person is going to defend, one person is going to dive, and one person is going to irritate you. And by me watching this play out, Brett Brown got coached by Brad Stevens. Because when the 76ers going on little runs, I noticed that Brad Stevens was calling timeouts to stop that run, set up another defense, and show different things of the game for his team. And you got to give kudos to a coach like that. This is Brett Brown, first year in the playoffs. Yes, he got past Miami, but it's his first year in the second round. The game will get a little bit more tighter. The games get more intense. It's more at stake now. Plus, this is a rivalry. And you looking at when Marco Bellinelli had 11 points, Ersan Ilyasova was 0 for 3 for the three-point line. This is what I mean. Living and die by the three-pointer. You got to find different ways to get to the hole and score the basket for your teammates. And like I said, they took away J.J. Redick, chasing him on the three-point line. He was getting irritated because he could hit his threes. And it's a mismatch. Like I said, this is the reason why I picked the Celtics to win in 5. J.J. Redick cannot guard no one on the Boston Celtics. He can't even guard Shane Larkin. He can't guard Terry Rozier, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart. This is different bodies he's looking at. It's going to wear and tear on him of him trying to get baskets. Got the Celtics winning the 5. But the great part, I'm looking at the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum. The first rookie in April since 1980, since Larry Legend Bird, to have 28 points in a playoff game. And the reason I'm saying this, Jason Tatum exploited J.J. Redick. I know y'all tired of hearing that name, but it's the honest God truth. The length is, Jason Tatum has the length over J.J. Redick, and so does Terry Rozier. They more athletic than J.J. Redick. And they gonna trust me, 76ers are gonna make some changes, but this team is just more hungry. Jason Tatum, who played lights out, man. Played lights out. This team, I'm looking at Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier, and Al Horford together, combined for 83 points. And everybody chipped into this victory. Al Horford had 26 points, 7 rebounds. The one thing that everybody keeps saying, Joel Embiid got good footwork. But when he outside, that restricted area of the basket, and Al Horford got the ball, Al Horford's a low-key good passer. So when he's out there, Al Horford going to make sure somebody else get the ball and touch that ball. Yes, he might do his thing, but I always criticize Al Horford by taking too many threes. He only took like 3 threes last night. But when he took them, they were efficient and he was making them. But at the same time, Al Horford is the muscle on the team. He played the most playoff games of anyone on that roster. 26.7 rebounds. You cannot argue that. The whole thing is, can the Boston Celtics keep this up? Like I said, I got the Celtics winning in 5. Can the Celtics keep this up to game 2 to really put the pressure on the 76ers? I'm saving the best for last. I'm saving the best 2 players for last. Marcus Morris, 11 points, 5 rebounds. This guy, Marcus Morris, for me, he always looked angry, like he's ready to fight, so nobody never know what's going on with him. He's a gamer, he's a game player, and he's a team player. I like what he brings to the table for the guys and those other young guys that's on that bench for the Boston Celtics. The Celtics shot lights out from the 3-point line. They were 17 for 35. That's 48%, man. That's almost pretty much the average of 3-pointers are made from a team basis in the NBA calculated. I'm gonna start with one guy who had a great game. But people look at it like how he have a great game. What make him have a great game, what he leaves on the floor, the impact of that player that rubs off on the other players was Marcus Smart. 9 assists, 3 rebounds, 9 points. And Boston Celtics fans love players like that who give you that tough, that grit, and that grind. Who's gonna leave it out there on the floor? And Marcus Smart is a scrappy dude. He don't care who's out there. He's gonna dive on the floor. You see, he got the split on his thumb. It's what you call a gamer, man. This is some people play basketball. This is a passion. He has the love for the sport. And when you going like that, and people always get fascinated by the points of what players did. It's the little things that wins games. Moral victories, I call it. Diving on the floor for loose balls. Going that extra 10 inches or 10 yards on that court and that floor, getting that ball from your opponent. That's the things that rub off on the fans and keep the fans yelling. Because the whole thing is, you want to win. In the playoffs, every possession counts. It's not regular season. In the playoffs, every possession is key to a victory. The one thing I always look at how teams win and lose games: rebound discrepancies, turnovers, steals, and all that stuff. This is the type of things you look for. Who diving on the floor? The one thing I like about myself when I'm sitting back to watch the games, my thing is, I got this thing called hustle points. Who's gonna get after it? Who else gonna try to fight for the rebound with the team? Who's gonna take that charge? Those are effort points, the hustle points that don't show up in the stat sheet. When you look at Marcus Smart, who came back from the injury, put it out there, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists. He's gonna start the game off diving on the floor. He's hungry. Guess what? We gonna win this game, and he gonna make sure he take it from you. The next person I'm giving shouts out to, Scary Terry Rozier. 29 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and he was also 7 for 9 for the 3-point line. The guy is on another planet right now in the playoffs. Kyrie Irving is down, folks. Not coming back this season. And the one thing people was doing to the Boston Celtics was counting this team out. And this team still managed to win games without a Kyrie Irving, a Gordon Hayward, and a Jaylen Brown. Some of their key pieces are missing, and they still winning games. And it's the funny thing, because Brad Stevens' name is not getting mentioned for Coach of the Year. He hasn't been running with a full deck of cards since the first game of the year. And this team still keeps it together and still win games, and important games at that. A lot of people wrote in the Celtics on, the Celtics not get out the first round. They proved you wrong, and they got out the first round. They did what they did. They taking care of each game. Some people get caught at looking at stuff like, you know what, we play this team, we got to win. Do not get caught up in schedule watching. You could tell the Celtics probably living behind that New England Patriots model. Do your job. One game at a time. You never want to give your opponent some bulletin board material. Never look past your opponent. That's why a lot of teams now in today's sports lose. They look past their opponent, disrespecting an opponent. Then you wonder why certain teams, I didn't expect them to win this game. There's a lot of teams like that do that. Give it to the Boston Celtics. Take a commanding 1-0 lead in these semifinals, and they don't play again till Thursday. And it's gonna be a good one. And I got the Celtics winning that game too. It's kind of hard to win games in that TD arena. The Celtics are gonna win that one too. Like I said, the score, even though it looked kind of close, but this game was way out of hand. It was just too much for Boston. The game was too much for Boston because they just played a game 7. And you would think that a team that was on 6-day rest, the 76ers, would come in with more of a sense of urgency. They won game 1, the Celtics did. They 3 games away from victory. If they win game 2, Philadelphia, you in trouble. I mean, you have to at least go home and win a game on your floor. Boston Celtics got all the momentum. And they just, like I said, they just came off of game 7 Saturday. Now this team get a couple of days rest till Thursday. That's all they need is some rest for the young guys. And in between time and in the meantime, if Jason Tatum, if Jaylen Brown comes back Thursday, oh my God, Celtics gonna put a hurting on the 76ers because the 76ers don't have that much playoff experience on their team besides Amir Johnson, Ersan Ilyasova, and JJ Redick. Where else you gonna get it from? And even though they had playoff Marco Bellinelli, some of these guys hasn't even played big roles on their teams. So we're gonna see what the makeup going to be in game 2. Because Terry Rozier lit it up that first quarter, 10 points and 6 rebounds, and that carried over to the next quarter, third quarter. This team never let up. Never took their foot off the pedal. They kept doing what they was going to do. Y'all know who I am. I'm Tay Wiz reporting live for the Man Cave. You see me got the Celtics jersey. I'm repping for y'all. Y'all know what to do. Yeah, this is KG, by the way. My favorite player. Let's go.